Yo, that's crazy. So you telling me it's not even the right time to trade. And with this trade, we bust this for 93 pips in profit. Wait, to be correct, 80 plus pips in profit in 1 hour. 80 plus pips in profit in 1 hour. Hyperdrive. Going over this trade. What's going on, Sauce 1K Boss family? So look, I'm introducing you guys to a product that I use, the strategy that I use. So we can be in profit within 15 minutes or less. So now let's actually go over one of the examples, right? So from this example, right, this is not even the best time to trade. It's not even the right time to trade, right? The market just opened a couple hours ago, right? And the software called out a trade, right? For the Canadian dollar versus the Swiss franc, right? So now let's look at this. We taking a buy, right? So when he first entered, right, we actually had a little bit of trouble. We were in profit, right? We're in profit. We had a little bit of trouble. It pulled back, right? So how this works with this trading software, right? You're either in profit within 15 minutes or less, right? Which is literally 3 candles. If you're not in profit in 15 minutes, you pull out. If you're in profit in 15 minutes, you stay in that trade, right? So we're in a 5-minute time frame. So 3 candles on the 5-minute time frame is 15 minutes. So now in 15 minutes, right, we managed to be in profit about 7 pips, right? So we're in profit, right, on this trade on a Sunday. The market just opened literally a couple of hours ago. Let's go ahead and go in on this thing, man. So let's go ahead and look at this, right? We're going to stay in this trade for an extra 15 minutes and let's see what happens. And after 30 minutes, we're in profit, 29 pips, right? So we're still in profit. Let's let the thing ride for another 15 minutes, right? After 45 minutes, we're in profit, 65 pips on a Sunday. That's crazy, man. All right, so let's look at this thing, man. Let's stay in profit, right? We're in profit. Let's let this thing ride in profit for an extra 15 minutes, right? That's what the rule is. We're in profit in 15 minutes or less. Let that thing ride out for an extra 15. And after 1 hour, we caught 70 plus pips on this trade, right? 70 plus pips on this trade in 1 hour on a Sunday, right? I keep emphasizing Sunday because Sunday is not a day to trade, right? For the strategy that I use and for everybody that I'm surrounded around my team and everybody that's in the platform that we're with I Am Master Academy, right? We get educated by some of the top educators in the world, right? The educator that I watch, I highly, highly, highly recommend him, Mr. Tyrone Foster. If you don't know about him, most definitely you'll see that I talk about him a lot on my channel. Plug in with him. He's been trading for 9+ years, and I learned from him, and he's able to teach us how to trade the market in literally 2 steps, no longer a 4-step process. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look and see if we can find another one, right? And like I said, we're trading on a Sunday. Let's look at this, right? This is actually a trade call from last week. Let's see if it, right? This is a trade from last week. This was last either Thursday or Friday. Yeah, this last Friday, right? Friday's not a good day to trade either, but is the way to look at this, right? So I'm gonna take y'all through the actual 2-step process, right? Because it's actually 4 steps, but it's only 2 steps now, right? Because the first 2 steps are done, right? So the 4-step process, this is what it is, right? Is this red block bigger than this blue block? That's step 1, right? So step 1's already done. Step 2, does this red line cut through both of those 2 red and blue blocks to the left of this red arrow that's telling us to sell, right? Those 2 steps are already done. Those are the first 2 steps I was telling you guys about. And this is the 2 candles I'm talking about right here, right? The red candle is way bigger than the blue candle. And we have a red arrow telling us to sell. So we're good to go for the first 2 steps. Now, step 3, right? You always want to have this aqua line super close or cutting through these 2 candles, right? So this aqua line is super close above, right? You want to have the aqua line super close above or cut it through. The aqua line is super close above, right? And we were able to be in profit. Now, if we're in profit within 15 minutes, we stay in the trade. If we're not in profit within 15 minutes, we get out the trade. So let's get in this trade, right? In 15 minutes, we caught, right? This is an exotic. I want to say correctly, we caught about, this might be wrong. I think that's 51 pips, if I'm not mistaken. 51 pips, if I'm not mistaken. Right? This is the exotic, the US dollar versus the Norwegian krone. Right now, let's let this thing ride for another 15 minutes because that's a part of the rule if we're in profit. Right? 20 minutes we're in profit, 25 and 30 minutes it pulled back a little bit. Right? So if you'd have stayed in this trade for 30 minutes, you would have closed out with 10 pips. Right? But if you would have stayed in a trade earlier for just the regular 15 minutes and you took out your profit and you were happy with what you had, right? You would have closed out this trade with right there. That's the end. 51 pips, right? And this is on a Sunday, family. This is on a Sunday. The reason why I keep emphasizing this is because the way that the software works, right? Really, Monday through Friday, you can trade it. But the best times to really trade the software is Tuesday to Thursday. That's the day that that money really moves the most. And money moves when people are sleeping, right? I got another video on that showing you what's the best time to trade, best time frame to trade on, right? And I just gave you a quick nugget to let you know what's the best days to trade on. I'm gonna actually make a whole new video on that, right? If you paid attention and you watching this video and you got this far, then you know what the best day is to trade on, right? So now the best time to trade on for the software, a quick another nugget, quick tip, right, is 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now for all my people, yo, how do I do this? How do I put this on that, right? If you want to get access to this, family, people that are in my business, right, in my inner circle, that are people that I work with, that I help, that I teach, they're able to get access to this software with me, right, through this platform called Mastery IM Academy. I am with this platform. I do not teach anybody anything. I help them to learn and speed up their process of learning by plugging them into the systems that we already have in place. We're just a product of the product of I Am Master Academy, and we learn from the educators that they have employed because their job is to teach us and to help us to get paid while we're learning, right? So that's all I'm doing, just showing you guys and educating you on an opportunity that has helped me to change my life and be able to do some great things over the past 6 months since I graduated college, right? So let's go ahead. Let's find one more pair, right? On a Sunday. Now, let's find another pair from last week. No, just to correct myself. This was a trade from last week, last Friday to be exact. So let's go back and let's find another trade from last week. That was in our prime hours. Uh, where it stops at, we're just gonna choose one. All right, let's choose this. Let's see what it does. Right, this software right here, it calls out about 700 trades a day, right? On the 5 minute time frame, 700 trades a day on the 5 minute time frame. All you need is one, right? All you need is one, and the average risk to reward on this software is is anywhere between a 1 to 3 to 1 to 5, and the best ones are a 1 to 9, right? Some trades go further than a 1 to 9, right? So, and the average stop loss on each trade is about 3 to 6 pips. So that's super dope. You're not risking a lot of money and you're getting in and out the bag within 15 minutes. Let's stop. I like Mexican peso. Let's look at Mexican peso. That was a trash trade. It didn't go well. That was from last week, right? You don't need to win every trade. You don't need to take a million trades, right? You want to be in the market forever. You want to find you a trade, right? Get in and out the market, literally be in profit within 15 minutes or less. If you're not in profit, just don't trade. Let's go. And it wasn't. This is definitely not a good trade. But like I said, it's a Sunday. I'm trying to go back towards last week so I can find a setup from last week because I don't want to show y'all any more trades from today, even though a lot of them went into profit. A lot of them went into profit on the off day. If it allows me to go back, then we'll go back and we'll choose one. Let's do USD JPY. USD JPY. Right. The arrow's not showing, but this is a trade right here. That was from last week. Right. This was a trade right here from last week. I don't know why the arrow's not showing, but this is an excellent example right here. Right. Literally, you go through all the steps. This is excellent. This is why you would have took this, right? The DeLorean strategy. Now, let me go ahead and box what I'm looking at, right? And I'm going to put the arrow, since the arrow is not there, right? It was supposed to pop up, but it didn't because it's an older trade. No biggie. I'll help you guys out with this process. All right. So we're looking at these two candles right here. These two candles I got boxed. You would enter it right there. All right, cool, cool, cool. Now, we got this blue arrow, right? I put the blue arrow there because it was supposed to be there. It was a glitch. You know what I'm saying? It didn't upload because it's an older trade from last week, right? So we got the blue arrow, right? That I just put there, which is telling us to buy, right? So we're going to look to the two candles to the left of this arrow, right? Step one and step two are already done. Step one and step two are the same steps that we looked from earlier on the sell, right? The blue box is the blue box bigger than this red box? That's step one. Step one is already done. The first two steps are already done, right? Is this red line cutting through the blue box and the red box that's to the left of this blue arrow? Yes, it is. Like I said, the first two steps are already done. You have to pay attention to the last two steps, right? Which is this aqua line right here? Is it closely below or is it cutting through these two candles, right? To the left of this blue arrow. It's cutting through. The reason why you want to have it closely below or closely cutting through for a buy is because the closer you are, the more money you make. More money you make. The reason why you want to have it closely above or cutting through for a sell whenever we have a red arrow is because it's the more money you're gonna make, right? So now we're gonna go through that example now, right? Boom. Step three, is this aqua line cutting through or is it closely below it cuts through? Step four, do we have space to make profit? Yes, we have space to make profit. If we're in profit within 15 minutes or less, we stay in the trade. If we're not in profit, we close out. Family, so look, I found it on my trading view. So look, USD JPY, there was a time correction. I was in the wrong time zone. So this was actually a trade from today, right? When the market opened, literally at 5:45 p.m., right? Eastern Standard Time, right? So this was what was called out on the hyperdrive software. We got the blue arrow telling us to buy. All four steps checked off. Look, this is what I'm looking at. These two things, right? And this is literally how you set up your stop loss and your TP, right? You go there, right? You put your stop loss just below these two candles. Literally, what we were risking 5 pips. You're risking 5 pips. Come on, come on, go back, go back, go back, go back. We got an entry right there. Just below. Just below the two candles, the enter right there. And the full take profit is right. All right. So look, literally, how this works, you can cut all that out. 3, 2, 1. So look, family, this is what we're looking at here, right? This is example. I got this, right? These two candles is what we're paying attention to. We got the blue arrow. All four steps already checked off. We got enough space to make our bread. This is how you set up the stop loss and the TP, right? You put the stop loss literally just below the two candles. You can either go 5 or you can go a little bit right there, like 4-ish pips, literally just below the two candles. That's where you put your stop loss. Like I said, the average hyperdrive play stop loss is 3 to 6 pips, right? So we're risking 4 pips to make 11. Yeah, it's not a lot of pips, but you can risk a little bit more money, right? And you will still be in the proper risk management, right? So on this trade, you're risking 4 to make 11. You have a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, which means you're making double the amount of money that you are investing, right? Now let's look at it in 15 minutes. We should be in profit. If not, we close out in this trade. But that's part of the 3 candle rule. 15 minutes or less, we should be in profit. In 15 minutes, we were up 4 pips, right? That's cool. We let that thing ride for another 15 minutes. And in 30 minutes, we caught 11 pips, right? So after 30 minutes, we caught 11 pips. 11 pips may not seem like it's a lot, but you're not risking that much money because you got a 4 pip stop loss. Now, let's say you got a $1,000 account, right? On this trade, you could have put, because you got a 4 pip stop loss, right? You only risking $20. Let's say if you put 50, that's 5 times 4, $20. Yeah. Let's say if you had $1,000 account, right? You could have put a 0.50 on this, right? So that means for each uh All right, scratch it out. So like I was saying, family, so let's say if you got $1,000 account, right? You could have put a 0.50 on this. So if this thing goes 10 pips, you just made you an easy $50, right? Now let's say if you got a $10,000 account, right? You could have put a 0.500 on this. So that means if this thing goes 10 pips, right? You just made you a super duper easy $500, right? Now let's say if you had a $100,000 account, boom, and you put a 50.00. You put a 50.0 on this, right? So that means as soon as that thing goes 10 pips, you just made you an easy $5,000, right? Because you have the proper risk management. You can risk more, make more, and you still will not be over leveraging. That's the power of hyperdrive, family. So that's literally everything that we went over, right? Just showed you guys a couple of plays that we took, right? Some from last week. And a few of them were for actually from today, right? On a Sunday, the market just opened. They called out 700 trades per day. Now, tomorrow and the rest of the week, this thing is going to be flying, right? Going to be calling out trades left and right, left and right. And we're going to be smashing TPs, right? Some trades you're going to lose, but that's why you only need one. So out of 700 trades, you catch you one play, get your risk reward of 1 to 3 or better, and you're good to go. You just tripled your account, made your 5+%, right? So that's everything in today's video. Let me know below if you got some value, what video I should do next. Smash that like button, and we out, family.
Blue screens give me goosebumps. I'm not knowing what to